All right, welcome everyone. I'm super thrilled to be, here today after a couple of months of being ghost or MIA. But I'm super thrilled to be here today, just talking about something that has the power to really transform your tech career. So, just before we dive in, I'd like to share a story that perfectly captures, why we are here today. When Satya, took over as CEO of Microsoft in 2014. He faced a company that was losing its edge in the tech world, and one of the first things he did was introduce a growth mindset culture. So he believed that Microsoft needed to move from being a company that knew it all to a company that wanted to learn it all. So, like with this fundamental shift in mindset, it really helped transform Microsoft from being a declining software giant to one of the world's most valuable and innovative companies. Right? See, they're backing Open AI. They've done several projects recently, and their growth is just insane. So today we'll be exploring how you can apply the same powerful mindset to your own tech career. By the end of the session, you'll have practical strategies you can use immediately to enhance your growth and development in tech. So let's get started. All right. So just before we dive in, before we go in deeper into what a growth mindset is, I would like to take you to take a mo- I would like you to take a moment and think about the last time you faced a significant technical challenge. Maybe it was just learning a new framework or just debugging a particular tricky piece of code. How did you react? And did your inner voice say something like, I'm not cut out for this? Or did you say, this is tough, but, I can figure it out? So I'll share like from my own experience when I first encountered Kubernetes, right? I felt completely overwhelmed. The terminology alone seemed like a foreign language, like something really scary, guys. And my initial reaction was just to stick with what I knew, like the traditional deployment methods. But then I caught myself, instead of avoiding it, I decided to break it down into smaller pieces and learn one concept at a time. 6 months later, I was confidently deploying microservice applications on Kubernetes clusters. See, this is the essence of growth, like of a growth mindset, and it's the fundamental belief that you can develop and improve your abilities through dedication and hard work. So, like with your talents, and your talents and intelligence aren't really like fixed traits. They're just your starting point of what you can start from. This mindset is particularly crucial in tech because with our field moves, it always changes rapidly. 2 minutes, something's like this. When you blink, people are using some other different stack and something like that. So I want you guys to look at these examples that I have on the screens. I want you to notice these two different statements. I'll read out the first one, which says, "I'm not good at coding in Python, so I'll stick to what I know." Second one reads, "I'm not good at Python yet, but with practice and dedication, I can learn it." So notice the difference between these two statements. The first one shuts down possibilities, while the second one opens them up. The key difference, that small word, yet, it transforms a dead end into a path forward. I'll read it one more time. "I'm not good at Python yet, but with practice and dedication, I can learn it." All right, growth mindset than having a fixed mindset. So let me paint. We're just gonna be talking about the importance of growth mindset in the tech industry. So let me paint a picture of just how quickly our industry moves. 5 years ago, if you were a web developer, you might have been perfectly comfortable with a monolithic application architecture and jQuery. But fast forward to today, we are working with microservices, containerization, serverless computing, and frameworks like React and Vue.js. And also, there's also Vue. I think it's called Svelte, something like that. That came out recently. You see, the JavaScript ecosystem alone is evolved so rapidly that we joke about a new framework being released every week. Like I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the jokes being thrown around of how JavaScript is like. And also think about AI and machine learning. ChatGPT wasn't even publicly available until late 2022. Yeah, 2022, I think. Yeah, and now it's transforming how we think about software development. The rapid pace of change isn't slowing down. If anything, it's really accelerating. See, this is precisely why a growth mindset isn't just helpful in tech. It's essential. When you embrace a growth mindset, you see these constant changes not as threats but as opportunities. Each technology becomes, a chance to grow, to add another tool to your toolkit. Just like with what I tell people when they ask me, like, what's your favorite programming language? I always tell them that no, with these things, there are tools that you use, right? So if you learn this tool, how to use this tool, you can always learn to use another tool because you apply them differently. It's like using a shovel and using a pick, something like that. You use them for different things. So I don't really have a favorite programming language, but I do have a mindset that helps me, use these languages as tools, and that's why I'm always learning them, just to know which one I can use better and where can I use it. So here's a striking statistic. Which comes from like Stack Overflow. Like every year they do a survey where they ask a bunch of developers, how they are working in their industry, which tech stacks they're using, and stuff like that. I also participated in one, I think a couple of years back or something like that. So, according to them, over 75% of developers learn a new technology every few months or at least once a year. See, this isn't because they have to, it's because they choose to. They've embraced the mindset that continuous learning is part of a journey, not an obstacle to it. Right? I'll repeat that one more time because I feel powerful. You know, they've embraced the mindset that continuous learning is part of the journey, not an obstacle to it. Right? So it's part of the journey. It helps you build endurance. um Also, like, I want to start this like spending this section with like one of my favorite quotes from Thomas Edison. When asked about his failed attempts to create the light bulb, he said, "I have not failed 10,000 times. I've successfully found 10,000 ways that will not work." See, this perfectly encapsulates how we should view failure in tech or in any aspect of your life. you know View failure like this, like, I've not we said, I have not failed 10,000 times. I've successfully found 10,000 ways that will not work. That's a positive mindset to have, guys. Like, it just feels like it makes failure, something that you can really embrace and take up. So let's look at some modern examples. I mean, do you know that, with Slack, that communication platform that most people use at work, some of us use it daily, but Slack started as a failed gaming company. The team initially, like, they were developing a game called Glitch, which never took off. But however, they'd built an internal communication tool for their team to use, like, during the development of that game. Um, See, with that failed game, it led to what is now a billion-dollar company used by millions. Like, almost everyone uses Slack. So in your own work, think about debugging. Every error message, every bug, every failed deployment is not a failure. It's information. It's telling you something valuable about your code, your system, or your assumptions. The key is learning to read these failures as feedback, right? So let me share. I'm gonna share like a personal example, like, with me. Last year I was working on a crucial, like, critical microservice deployment that failed in production. I think I even posted about it on Twitter and got posted a bit. um, yeah. So instead of panicking, our team treated it as a learning opportunity. We not only fixed the issue but also improved our deployment, um, and also added monitoring and created a more comprehensive documentation of how to deploy and how we can handle those kind of cases, right? See, with that failure, it made our entire system more robust because you know without knowing that there's an issue like that, or without that error coming up, we would have known, like, our system had a flaw, which can cause it to break when this happens. So that failure that we had made us improve our system and made it better. So the tech industry rewards those who are willing to try, fail, learn, and even try again. Remember, like, every senior developer you admire is written a buggy code, crashed production servers, and made countless mistakes. The difference is they use these experiences as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. So here's a few examples actually. Even with Instagram, um, they failed as a check-in app. There's also Slack, the gaming company, and even YouTube. I was really surprised about YouTube, but that they actually started as a dating website. But yeah, I think I can cover that on one of my videos that I'm going to be making for you guys. Um, cool. So, like the most successful tech professionals I know all share one common habit. They make learning a daily priority. I can give a lot of examples, like of guys even we have, as in tech community, um, and the names just went out of my head. But yeah, they all have like one habit, they make learning a daily priority, not just when they need to, but every single day. Think of it like exercise. You don't only exercise when you need to lift something heavy. You do it regularly to stay in shape. That endurance. You see, I want to share like a practical framework that has worked well for me and many others. It's called the learning pyramid, and it breaks down continuous learning into manageable chunks. First, commit to commit to 30 minutes of focused learning every day. This could be reading documentation, watching a tutorial, or practicing a new skill. It might not sound like much, but that's the point. It's sustainable. It's something that you can continue doing. Over a year, that adds up to like maybe 182 hours of learning. But then you're not tired. You're just doing it bit by bit by bit, right? That's on a daily and weekly. Try to complete like one tutorial or read one in-depth technical article. Make sure to take notes and, if possible, implement like what you've learned in a small example. Because I believe that the best teacher sometimes is doing, like when you're learning something and you're doing it, it also helps it stick in your head. And then for monthly, build one small project using the skills you're developing. It doesn't have to be like complex. Even a simple CRUD application using a new framework counts. Like just make it simple, a to-do app. But even though I don't like to do apps, those ones are really good. I don't like them. Uh, but the only way that you can really quite do it is just improve it. Put some extra features and stuff like that. That's when I will love you to do it. But actually, I don't really like it. I think I'll make another video also talking about simple projects that you could build, but that are not related to like to do apps and stuff like that. So yeah, back to it. Quarterly, aim to achieve proficiency in one new technology or concept. I mean, this could be anything from mastering a new programming language to understanding, um, you know, cloud architecture principles, or like any other like ways of coding that you might wanna try out, right? So let me give you like a real world example. When I started to learn React, I started with 30 minutes daily of reading the documentation and doing small exercises um, from the documentation, right? So each week I completed one tutorial from the React documentation. Monthly, I built like small components and features that I'll just plug in on different kind of projects. Um, yeah, in just different kind of projects. And then I built small, by the end of the quarter, I built like several small applications and was comfortable with red core concepts. So I think I still remember like some of the apps that I built. I built like an app called Thoughtly, which you are supposed to be. It just showed shower thoughts, but then it helped me learn a lot from it because you would save your thoughts, like these random thoughts, and you could also share and see. It's all because of the small components that I've been building and learning. I ended up putting them into like one big project, just to bring out something nice, which really worked. So the key is just consistency over intensity. It's better to learn for 30 minutes every day than to burn out trying to learn everything in one weekend. Obviously, there's some people who try learning things in one weekend, but it's just kind of hectic, bro. So just to go through again what we covered just now in our practical learning framework. Daily, do 30 minutes of focused learning. Weekly, one new tutorial or article. Monthly, complete one project. Quarterly, master one new technology. All right. One of the most powerful one of the most powerful tools for growth in your tech careers is something many of us find uncomfortable, which is feedback. But here's the thing, the most successful developers I know actively seek out feedback, even when it might be very difficult to hear, right? Um, Let me just share I have a technique that I kind of use that really helps a lot. You know, it has transformed how I approach code reviews. So, like, instead of seeing them as necessary evil or a chance of someone to criticize my code, I started asking questions, like specific questions, like, how could this be more efficient? Is there a more elegant way to handle this edge case? What patterns would make this more maintainable? See, this kind of it really shifted the dynamic entirely, rather than defend like being on that defensive. I became curious, like rather than dreading feedback, I started looking forward to it as a learning opportunity. Like, okay, fine, give me your feedback. Let me learn from it. Let me research more. Let me improve my code base. So, a practical framework for seeking and also like using feedback effectively is, number one, first ask specific questions. Like, instead of what do you think, ask how could I improve the performance of this database query, or what practices could make this code more maintainable, right? Those kind of questions. Second, listen without defending. This is very crucial, guys. Listen without defending. When someone gives you feedback, your first instinct might be to explain why you did something a certain way. Like, no, 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 no. Like, it's because it works like this. No, 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 no. That's really really wrong. Resist this urge. Instead, listen and take notes. Right. Third, take detailed notes. See, our memories are unreliable, especially when receiving complex technical feedback. Writing this down shows respect for the feedback and helps you reflect on it later. Um, that's I'll also take my notes. Like, I don't write. Usually, I prefer taking like writing down my notes with a pen, because I feel like it helps it stick in your head better than actually typing it out or just listening sometimes. Point number four, create specific action items. You know, transform the feedback into concrete steps you can take to improve. And then number like five, number five, right? Yeah, number five, or yeah, the last one. Follow up. Let people know how you've implemented their feedback, and this not only shows Kuti, how you value their input, but also opens the door for more feedback in the future, because they know that, okay, if I give you feedback, you can apply it. If I give you feedback, you can listen to it. It also helps you, even when you are building products, it helps your products become better by accepting feedback from people. So I'll give you like another real example. Like last month, I received feedback that my API documentation wasn't clear. It was clear, guys, but yeah, it wasn't clear. So as it could be, instead of like defending my work, I asked for specific examples of what was unclear. I took notes, created a template for better documentation, and I implemented across all our code base. So when I followed up with the team, they noticed the improvement, and now we have a better standard for all our API documentations and our requests and how everything just looks like. So just to go again on the framework on what we covered now is ask specific questions, listen without defending, take notes, create action items, and follow ups. All right, I hope you guys are enjoying the session right now. Please do leave a comment, like, and don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to subscribe and share. Also share the video with other developers, because this is quite beneficial to everybody. All right, so let's talk about goal setting yeah, and tracking your progress. So, goal setting in tech can feel like can really feel overwhelming. The field is so vast that it's hard to know where to focus. Should you learn the new JavaScript framework? Should you master cloud services? Dive deeper into machine learning? This is where like smart goals become crucial. And I learned about smart goals in high school when we were doing business enterprise. um, Let me share like another practical example how you can break this down. Say your goal is to become proficient in cloud computing. Instead of just saying I want to learn AWS, let's make it smart, right? So with smart, there is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. That's what smart stands for. So let's talk about specific. Specific, you'd say something like, I will become an AWS solutions architect associate certified. Measurable, you say, I will complete all sections of the certification course and pass practice exams 80% or higher, right? Achievable, you say something like, I will study 1 hour per day and complete labs on weekends, right? And for relevant, um, this aligns with my team's move toward cloud infrastructure. So relevant is more like the reason why you're doing it, right? And then time bound, you say like, I will achieve this in 6 months. See, see how you're speaking yourself into it. Like, I will. That also gives you that confidence of doing it and actually completing it. Yeah, and actually completing it. So now let's break this down into further, let's break down further into our goal pyramid and how it's supposed to be like. Remember what we were talking about a few minutes ago about like daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, right? So let's put this into it too. So daily, complete one module of AWS training or whatever you be learning. Weekly, finish one course section and do two practice labs. And on a monthly now, complete all labs in one AWS service category. And quarterly, that's when you can pass or practice exams for the cover sections. I want you guys to notice how each level, just builds on the previous one. This makes the goal less overwhelming and gives you clear actions, to take each day. So here's a tip, I also learned the hard way. Track your progress visually. I use, a simple GitHub looking kind of app. Um, I'm forgetting the name, but if you search for habit apps on Google Play Store and App Store, you can find most of these apps that are there. So I use a simple like GitHub style contribution grid to mark my daily learning. When you see those green contributions or green squares, it has a bit of like a gamification where you sort of feel rewarded a bit, or it's just you looking at a streak, say, today I did this. Like, it helps and boosts you because you want to see that thing come more and more and more, right? So if you use the habit apps, they help you with these kind of things too, just to make sure that you follow up with your goals and you're always constant. And also, like, don't forget to also celebrate these milestones, guys. Like, when you complete a difficult module or successfully implement a new service or you build a new feature, take a moment to acknowledge it. It helps you, like, it boosts you to actually continue pushing more. So these celebrations, they really help maintain motivation, even like for the longer journey that's ahead of you. Because if you're looking with last week about this level, and then when you celebrate a small win, it gives you the energy that you need for the next task or next mission that you want to pursue. All right. So just to go over like sorry, let me so just to go back on what we went through again on the goal setting framework. We discussed long term, technical goals, quarterly objectives, monthly targets, weekly action items, and daily tasks. So this is something that you could follow through to, right? So feel free, guys, to always post the video, take this down, take the notes down. But also, you can always request, and I can always share the slides with you if you want this. All right. So in tech, change is the only change. Sorry, in tech, change is the only constant. The framework you master today might be obsolete tomorrow. One of the best practices you follow, this year might be anti-pattern the next one. So this can feel exhausting unless you develop resilience and adaptability. So what do I mean about that? So I'll share a story that illustrates this. Early in my career, when I first started, I specialized just using jQuery and a bit of PHP. So I'd spent like a couple of months or some time mastering these technologies and felt very comfortable. Then seemingly like overnight, the industry just shifted up towards single page applications using another React, Node.js. So I had a choice: either resist the change and stick with what I knew, or adapt and grow. So I chose to adapt, but I did it strategically. So here's the approach I developed, which you can also use when facing technical change. First, build a strong foundation. You need to focus on understanding core principles that don't change frequently. So these principles are something like data structures, algorithms, design patterns, system architecture. So these this makes learning new technology easier because you can see how they implement these fundamental concepts, because every programming language has these concepts within it. So once you master these ones, when you move to another one or you move to something else, you know that it's gonna be there, and you're just gonna look and see how it's done that side, and you start feeling like home, right? So second, maintain a learning journal. Uh, document not just what you are learning, but how you learn. So what approach, like with documenting things now, it really helps you put out my points out there, especially when you're learning something new. Because sometimes when you get stuck, you can always come and refer to the notes that you took down. These are like notes of how you learned this concept, how what you understood from that concept. So at least when you get lost later on, come back, you review it. So it really, I don't know, it really like becomes more efficient. Like it helps you become more efficient sometimes, because I that's one of the strategies that I use, and it has helped me quite a lot. And third, you can also create support networks. Join communities, maybe like both online or maybe offline. Depends on where you are, where you can share challenges and solutions. For me, I'm in like several Discord channels and WhatsApp groups, and they help me a lot also when I'm learning, because I get to share what I'm struggling with, and then people help me out. And you know, some people were also like learn it's like different things. Let's say for example, I want to learn like PHP or C sharp. I can ask somebody the best way they learned it, or how they did it, or what's happening with the new trending framework, stuff like that, so that I know whether I want to learn this or whether I don't want to learn this. Right, asking for people who are already doing it. So let's go to point number four. Practice self-care. Learning constantly can be exhausting. So schedule regular breaks, guys. Like I know for myself, I take regular walks. Um, like when I'm coding, right? If I struggle with something, go outside and I come back. I actually learned this concept from one of my teachers actually. In high school. This dude was smart. Come to think of it, like during a lesson, there's a time when we're doing, yeah, I think it was chemistry or physics, I'm forgetting. But when we were learning, right, you would see that, okay, people are now falling asleep a bit here, or people are now kind of exhausted. And you know what you do? You can start throwing shots at somebody. You'd pick a random person, just start throwing shots at them. And then the whole class would laugh, and then kind of get engaged, and the class becomes interesting, right? And people who were sleeping would wake up now and then start laughing. We'll do that like for like 5 minutes, right? And after those 5 minutes, when we're we'll be like, okay guys, let's go back to our lesson. You go by explaining the previous concept he was explaining before coming up with this joke, or just mocking this guy or whatever. And then he continues the lesson. Now, even if you're falling asleep, now you've sort of boosted now, because you're sort of refreshed, because something distracted you for like a few minutes, and then now you're back to it. So this really works, guys. Try to get regular breaks or refresh a bit. Find something to just shift your focus from what you're doing. Be it like watching reels for like 2 minutes, which I do recommend if you have good self discipline, because I know watching reels can take you down the rabbit hole. So yeah, try to take regular breaks. That can help you refresh. And when you come back with a fresh mind, things are always easy to understand and you learn better. So finally, I want you to celebrate small wins. So if you write, let's say, a small React component, did you deploy your first, website or something like that? What do you do? When you do it, please celebrate. Even if it's a small win, just give yourself like a big up or something, like, oh, look at me, bro. Like I know myself. If you ask people that I've worked with, that's how I do. Like if I do something that I like, I implement something or I work on something and it's done, I'll be hyping myself up, like, hey, come on, bro, look at you, damn, bro, this is good. Just motivation, and that helps me keep going. I don't get tired uh, because of that. It helps me even do more, because I'm like, oh, nice, I got this, man. I'm a legend. I always tell myself that, which really helps me a lot. So also, like, I want you guys to remember, resilience isn't about, yeah, never feeling overwhelmed or frustrated. It's about knowing that these feelings are temporary and having strategies to work uh, through them. And also, like, another thing is, with every senior developer you admire is felt imposter syndrome. They start with new technologies and is wondered if they can keep up. The difference is they've developed the resilience to push through these challenges. And I also want you guys to do the same thing. So let's just take a look at what we've covered now on resilience strategies. I want you guys to build a strong foundation, maintain a learning journal, create support networks, practice self-care, and celebrate small wins. All right, this is all where it starts from. All right, celebrate small wins because no one's gonna celebrate for you. Because this is for you. Do it for yourself. All right, so let's just go through the summaries and the key takeaways as we wrap up. I want you guys to recap like on the key elements of building a growth mindset in your tech career, but more importantly, let's focus on how you can start implementing these ideas tomorrow or even today. And I'm recording this video at around like 3 a.m. So first, remember that a growth mindset isn't something you achieve once and you are done with. It's a continuous practice, and like coding itself, you know you always like you have days when you feel like when you feel unstoppable and days when you question everything. Both are part of the journey, really. So we've covered quite a lot of ground today. The importance of viewing challenges as opportunity. I mean, just to go through some of them that we've covered, I think we've gone through the importance of viewing challenges as opportunities, and we've also talked about how to learn effectively and continuously. um, we've also talked about the value of seeking and implementing feedback, setting and tracking meaningful goals, and also we spoke about building resilience for the long term. But knowledge without action isn't very useful. So I want you guys to immediately jump onto like some of these next steps that you can easily do. So maybe tomorrow morning or even today, start learning. Um, that's your learning journey. It can be, you can be using like a book to write your learning journey, or you can use Notion. I prefer using Notion though. Like if I'm not writing down, I'm using Notion because it helps me organize my notes. So I use both a notebook that I write down, and I also use Notion to draft out my ideas well, save them, access them on another device. So do search for Notion on Google Play Store or that Apple thing that you guys use. Yeah. And also, like, so this week, I want you guys to like set your first smart goals using that framework that we discussed. Make it something achievable but slightly outside your comfort zone. So within the next 2 weeks, I would like you guys to join. If you're not in communities, I would like you guys to join communities. Tech communities that can help you out, like be it on Discord, Telegram. We do have Zim Developer one, which I'm a co-founder of. The Zim Developer Tech, yeah, the Zim Developer Telegram group. Um, I'll try to put a link. Sorry, yeah, I'll try putting a link under my video for guys to actually join through, or you can also reach out to me on Twitter or LinkedIn, and then I can share with you the link to that community. And also there's another one that I manage with Mike, the Zim Tech community on Discord, where we do coding and stuff and just discussing what's happening in the industry. uh yeah, I mean, we have a bunch of communities around, so make sure that you join at least one or two this week. So by the end of the month, I'd like you guys to start. Oh yeah, because it's already end of the month, but still, yeah, if you're gonna start on like November, and I want you guys by the end of the month to establish like a feedback system. Find a mentor or a peer group where you can regularly share your work and get constructive feedback. So, if you're going to be starting today, commit to that daily learning habit that we discussed earlier. Remember, it's just 30 minutes. That's one episode of, a show that you might be watching or something like that. So, you know, but it's beneficial to you because it's already having like, that passive entertainment. You're really investing in your future, guys. I'd really recommend that because 30 minutes is not a lot. It's not even a lot. You can do it first thing when you wake up or just before you sleep or in the afternoon. Just sacrificing 30 minutes. Later on, you even change it like 1 hour or 2 hours, something like that, which, it all goes to who you are and how you're working to. So the beautiful thing about a growth mindset is that it compounds over time. Small, consistent actions today can lead to significant results that you can see tomorrow. Just as compound interest grows your money, compound learning grows your capabilities. So before we wrap up, I want to make sure you have everything you need to continue this journey. I've compiled a list of resources that I personally use and recommend. See, so these aren't just random links. Each one has helped me in my own journey, my own growth journey. So the learning platform listed here offers structured paths for technical skills. I particularly recommend, starting with Free Code Camp, uh, there's another one called Solo Learn. I actually forgot about it. But you try Free Code Camp if you're beginning your journey, or even Pluto Site if you're looking for a more advanced or enterprise-focused content. For community engagement, there's always Dev too, which is it's an incredible supportive space for like developers of all levels, like at all levels. So they have like discussions there on Dev 2 that go beyond just code. They can even talk about how developers are like the human aspects of being a developer, guys. So please do check it out. I've also listed three books that I consider essential reading: Mindset by Carol, Fundamental. It's the fundament. This word, guys, is gonna kill me. No, so it's the fundament fun. It's the foundation work on growth mindset theory, and also there's also Atomic Habits. It will really help you build those consistent learning habits, like we discussed earlier. And there's always the Pragmatic Programmer. This one I have a PDF version of it. uh, I had a hard copy, but I left it at home now. But if you wanna use it, then feel free to reach out and I can organize that you get it. Since I'm not using it at the moment. The Pragmatic Programmer is a classic that embodies the growth mindset in your software development journey. So yeah, that's just about it, guys. I hope you've learned a lot. Please, don't be stingy with this information. Share it with other developers too. So that we can all learn together, and just grow together, guys. So don't forget to follow, subscribe, and like. Oh, yeah, I've been talking for a long time. I'm used to having sessions where I'm discussing with somebody. Not this monologue thing, but it's kind of nice too. So kind of exhausted. So please, guys, make sure you like, you subscribe, you share with your friends, and so yeah, you share with your friends. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter, LinkedIn, any other platform that just search for GT Chekama, and trust me, the first result you see is probably me. So yeah, it's been nice catching up with you guys. I'm gonna be releasing a new video. I think once a week. I'll do like a video. So let me know in the comment section topics that you really want me to cover too, be it coding or non-technical topics like this one here. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Otherwise, peace.